Legal Talk on eRadio with Hahn Hahn attorneys, and today we're joined by Olebogeng Mangena from Hahn Hahn, and we asked on LinkedIn on the poll last Friday, do you know who the ultimate beneficiary is of a juristic person and when to report this to the CIPC? 43% said yes and 57% said no. So the majority of the people said no, and that's probably a good thing because that's why we have Olebogeng on the line to inform us and tell us exactly how it works. Olebogeng, welcome back.
Good afternoon, Hyun. Thank you for having me.
Great to have you with us again, Olebogeng. Who is a beneficial owner and who must the beneficial owner information be filed with?
A beneficial owner in respect of a company would refer to an individual who has direct or indirect ultimate ownership of the company, or who exercises the effective control of that particular company. So it refers to a person with a holding beneficial interest, like, for example, the shares in a company, or a company to a company through a subsidiary company. The exercise or the control of the exercise would relate to the voting right, as well as the right to appoint and remove directors, and the ability to control the company through other companies, or a group of persons, or the trustees of a trust. So in other words, the beneficial owner or of a company must be a natural person who has some sort of an effective ownership or control over the legal entity, and who gains some sort of benefit from such control.
All right, and who must submit the beneficial ownership information, and who does not need to submit the beneficial ownership information?
Companies such as the private companies, the non-profit companies, as well as the external companies and close corporations. So in case of a shareholder who is a trust, the beneficiary of that trust would be the beneficial owner. And then those beneficiaries, meaning the natural persons, we must disclose their identity, like the identity number, the date of birth, their address, and sometime to a certain extent what will that person do for a living.
Okay, and what is an affected company?
So affected companies falls into one of the two categories. The first one is a regulated company, which refers to refers to a public company, a state-owned company, a private company that needs to follow a certain criteria. For example, having more than 10% of its issued shares or the securities that has been transferred to within the last 24 months, or in its memorandum of incorporation states that that particular company, the sections of the Companies Act and the takeover regulations will apply to that particular company.
All right, and can a trust or a company also be a beneficial owner?
No, a trust itself cannot be a beneficial owner, but the trust, the beneficiaries of the trust are the one that are considered to be the beneficial owner. So, in other words, it must be a natural or a home body for a person to qualify as a beneficial owner.
And finally, why is it important to file a beneficial ownership information, and what are the repercussions of failure if you do not file it?
Legal entities are very vulnerable to certain individuals out there who would like to take advantage of these entities. For example, somebody would want to take control of assets which were not derived in a proper manner or in a lawful manner. So the whole principle or the idea of filing beneficial ownership and the exclusion of the juristic persons such as companies and trusts to be considered as beneficial ownership is so that the CIPC can understand and see who are the real people behind this vehicle called the legal entities. And the replication of it is that recently there was a notice that was published in the CIPC, wherein if a company fails to file its beneficial ownership, and that company will then be susceptible to deregistration. So yeah, that is the repercussion of it. And another one would be a fine that is imposed to companies that are failing to file the beneficial ownership. And the fine is up to, I think, R1 million for the failure to file beneficial ownership.
That's a lot of money, eh? Right.
Yeah.
Olebogeng, thank you so much for shedding some light on the matter today here on Legal Talk. Olebogeng Mangena, of course, from Hahn Hahn Attorneys. We appreciate it.
All right. Thank you to you and your listeners.
Are you or your business in trouble and struggling to find a solution? Call Hahn Hahn Attorneys as we assist clients in finding solutions. We specialize in consumer and food law, commercial and construction law, forensic investigations and administrative law. Visit hahnlaw.co.za. That's HAHN. We assist clients nationwide. Hahn Hahn Attorneys, because we care. Don't miss Legal Talk with Hahn Hahn Attorneys, Wednesday mornings at 10 on eRadio.